P the Politician, Behind Bars Entertainment, CCG Network Radio. You are now rocking with the Get Rich Rapping Podcast with my mans, Daniel Scott, a.k.a. Esskimo. Don't get mad, get motivated, bitches.
What's good, people? We're back once again for the Get Rich Rapping Podcast with the CCG Top 40 Network. And today, we've got the man behind the plan when it comes to CCG Top40.com. We've got the motherfucking P the Politician in the building right now. This guy, strength to strength every day. Every day he's working on something. Every day he's pushing something. You know him from the Friday Night Lives. You know him, of course, from the CCG Top40.com. The man, P the Politician. What's good, my dude?
Oh man, that's a hell of an intro right there, my brother, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, man, everything is love, man. I mean, focus, man. That's the word right there.
Yeah.
Because when you got so many things thrown at you, man, if you don't utilize that word focus, you can be all over the place. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Good shit, man. So, pleasure to have you on here today, man. I just wanted to get this answer from you. Who is P the Politician?
Hashtag Norman. That's who the fuck
Norman.
Politician is. You know what I mean? But you know what, man? Okay, so I have so many people trying to break down the vernacular of P the Politician. Mm-hmm. And what it all boils down to, man, the only reason that I'm in front of you right now, I mean, it all really did start with my brother getting locked up. I got a brother that's 4 years younger than me. Okay. And when he was 18, I lost my mind. He got hit with a 10-year bid. You know, shit. So like this is my my younger brother. I'm the older one. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, like a piece of your heart getting stolen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
as he was incarcerated, I'm like, you know what can I do when he gets out that can set him up to really be able to make moves? So it's like, okay, I started the whole Behind Bars Entertainment thing, you know, and I would go visit him while he was locked up. We would write letters back and forth to each other. And what happened? I mean, like, it was amazing how it happened. Mm-hmm. Because it grew into something way beyond that I could have ever imagined. You know what I'm saying? To the fact that I'm here blessed to be around people who are really impacting the world, such as yourself, Esskimo. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
The fact that, shout out William Jackson, man. Shout out Brian Tyree. These are the fellas that I'm doing the CCG Network Radio with, you know? So it's like, you start off with a vision, and what happens is your vision, it alters and it changes and it moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started doing music to give my brother an outlet. I started producing. And so when he came home, boom, we would have a studio set up. I created the studio. Mm-hmm. And when he came home, it was just like, all right, we on right now, you know, but he still had his problems with the law. You know what I mean? So, all right, that didn't quite work out. But in the meanwhile, I've got this whole record label at this point, you know what I mean? And I would have different artists throughout the years come through. And one thing I learned how to develop artists. I learned like, wow, I'm putting in a lot of homework figuring out how to run this label, how to do X, Y, and Z, how to market, how to plan, plot, proceed, and to deliver. And I had artists that would come through the label and they would do their thing, and one or two things would happen. They would either fall off or they would progress and be able to take it to the next level. And at that point, all right, move on to different things. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because I started it off for my brother. Like the word or the name Behind Bars Entertainment, that was a brainchild of my brother. I take no credit for that. Mm-hmm. So we fast forward throughout the years, and it's like, okay, how do we move now? Because at this point in time, you know, my brother's still in and out in trouble. And at this moment right now, my brother's out of trouble. He's finally gotten it together, but you know, he's got a kid now. You know what I'm saying? And that really changed his life. So his main focus isn't the music, which, by the way, oh my God, I have yet to meet an MC as dope as my brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's always motivating me to do what I do is because I never met an MC that dope.
Yeah.
But as it grew, I started meeting dope MCs. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, all right, everything grows, it matures. My brother matured, I matured, and here we are, ccgtop40.com. You know what I mean? Here we are, behind bars
Hey.
entertainment on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much who P the Politician is, and that's kind of how all of this started.
Absolutely, man. It sounds like, you know, there's always a story behind this stuff. You know what I mean? It's never just a case of, yo, so I just started doing this. You know what I mean? And I feel like if people say that they don't really have a story or they just started it, I feel like, they're neglecting what they go through what they've been through and how relevant what they've been through is to the person they are today, and the position has led them to in life, man. So it's always good to hear a story, and that's one hell of one, man. But
Yeah.
as you were touching on, over time you've done this, right? So you've been recording and working with a bunch of different hip hop artists for a long time. How do you feel about the current state of hip hop as it is today?
Well, I'm not scared to tell my age, man. I'm 38. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 39 July 23rd of 2017. And yo, you got a lot of cats that grew up with the Wu-Tangs, you know what I'm saying? The Jay-Z's, the Tupacs, the Biggies. That's my age group. But as I meet new artists, man, I'm in love with these younger cats who are all the way different from the age group that I grew up in. So it's like, okay, I got two choices here. I can continue to be, and by the way, I'm a very progressive dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be the type of person that just stays stuck in one era of time. I mean, come on, man. Had certain people that really had power that controlled the world. If they stay stuck in a certain area of time, I might fuck around and still be a slave right now. You know what I mean?
For real.
Like,
For real.
So, yo, with me, I'm all about progression. And so here's how I see the state of hip hop, right? You got the old, it's like a civil war going on right now. You got the old heads versus the new heads. But me, I'm more or less like Harriet Tubman. And like with the new cats that are coming in, let me, like the CCG network radio, you know what I'm saying? The Friday Night Lives that I do. Let me usher in the new breed. And at the same time, listen to the old heads. Yo, we still here. Why can we not coexist? So I kind of feel like the state of hip hop right now is in a civil war, and eventually the war will end, and we will both coexist because there's a lot of dope music that comes from, and here's hip hop is young. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is very young. So an old head in hip hop is considered to be my age, 38 years. You know, 35 to 40 is an old head, right? Yeah. But yo, you break down rock and roll, man. Rock and roll, you still got rock acts out here right now doing shows in the 60s. And the rock community doesn't look at them like they're old. They look at them like they're classic. And I think the state of hip hop right now, it just needs to mature to that level to where, number one, the younger heads are respecting the older heads, and the older heads are respecting the younger heads, to where now you're able to broaden what hip hop actually is and put it on more of a level of classic. That's how I really feel. So I feel like we're at war right now, but I also feel like cats like me, man. Yo, I'm the Harriet Tubman. What did Harriet Tubman do for the slaves? She freed them. You feel what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like it's up to people who, like myself, like I am from that older generation. I got knowledge to give. And I see these younger cats out here, but I see younger cats doing big things, huge things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to shout out Brandon Kyle, man. I know he's...
Oh, man, Brandon Kyle.
Yeah, man. And, yeah, the boy
He's
got the
man.
juice. Boy got the juice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does.
Yo, even cats like Lil Yachty, man. Yo, I feel like I am in the position to be able to enlighten cats like him. Like, he's disrespectful to the older heads, and then he's disrespectful to the older heads because the older heads don't give him any respect because he's disrespectful. So it's like this infinite circle. So how about you not show a little respect? And then you'll be able to gain respect, because I dig his music. I can't front on it. It's not nothing that I would necessarily bump, but it's a time and place for all music. And it's definitely like, yo, I'm just in my little zone sometimes, and I'll pull up some of Lil Yachty and run with it. You know what I mean? I can't deny what he's doing right now just because he's not spitting bars and he's not with the rhyme play. Yo, I'm the type of person who is older, and I'm going to respect you just simply because you're out here doing something and making waves in a manner that all these other people who are criticizing you can't even do on their day job. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think it's a lot of ignorance. I think it's a lot of you know, we're the best. No, we're the best when it's like, you know, it's two completely different fields, two completely different styles. It's like, you know, if you look at something like R&B, how many evolutions has there been of R&B from like R&B from like the 60s and the 70s was all slow soul,
Right.
you know what I mean? And then you get into the 80s where they start adding 808s and stuff, and not 808s like not that kind of 808s, just the boo, just like it was a
Yeah.
funky disco kind of R&B, you know what I mean? Like when you look at the, you know, Bobby Brown
Yeah.
and things in that vein, it was still absolutely R&B, but then, you know,
And
nobody says that's R&B and that's not R&B, you know what I mean? This music does go, even if you go from the 95 to 2000, you know what I mean, is the hip hop is completely different, but people say, yeah, that's hip hop and that's hip hop. You know what I mean? If you look at, because the early thousands was, you know, when Jay was in his prime, when Kanye first came around, 50 Cent, Eminem, and they were like the big names around that time. Nobody looks at that era and says that's not hip hop. You know what I mean?
right.
Even though it's completely different to what Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and what everybody was doing in those eras, you know? So I feel like, I think what it is where it was. If you think of like Eric B and Rakim and things like that, and then you take it all the way along the spectrum to your little yachties and stuff, then, you know, there is a complete difference there. But it's the reason I think that we can't blame the kids is because it's like we raised them, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
raised by people before us, and they were raised by people before them. And maybe if we had spent time, like if someone has a serious problem with the way the kids are today, and not even just in music, just in general, you know, that's our fault, right?
And you know what, man, I'm so glad that you bring that up, because I think that's really the core of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And the platforms and the communities that I have helped create and that I'm a part of, in my mind, it's like, okay, if I don't like what's going on, I have to take a look in the mirror.
Yeah,
And what if I
absolutely.
contribute to change it? You know what I mean? I'm so glad you brought that point up, my G.
Hey, no doubt, man. It's just how I genuinely feel about it too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we always want to shift the responsibility, so like we'll blame them, they'll blame us. And then really, this is everyone's problem. If we all gotta live in it, you know, there's no point
Yeah.
saying I'm not cleaning up the mess. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just because someone else made a mess, like someone I live with, for example, made this huge mess, didn't clean the dishes, I'm not going to sit there for the rest of the year with
Right.
them
And
dirty
not clean
dishes
the
and say, well, I
dishes.
didn't make that
Yeah.
mess. You know what I mean? If I
Man, let
got
me
to
tell
live
you,
here.
man. Let me tell you, I got 5 kids, man. And do you know how many times a week I have to explain this scenario? Like, okay, they're pissed off that I'm telling them to do the dishes, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, how many times do I have to tell you? I have to ask these simple questions. Do you use these dishes? Do you live here? And why is you bitching about having to clean up after yourself? You know what I mean? Like, straight up.
Yeah, I feel
So,
you, man.
yeah, man.
It's
Yeah,
crazy, like, just in that vein of conversation, how, you know, the same principles in life are, you know, the same in music, and the same principles in music is the same in life. And I think when you recognize how universal everything is, like the reason you can't get your music out there, anybody listening, is the same reason why when you go to the club, that girl don't want to have nothing to do with you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the way they promote that, the way they brand that is the same. You know, it's the check me out, check me out, check me out thing, as
Yeah.
opposed to like just doing your thing.
Yo, I've got to say, man. Number one, shout out Esskimo, aka Daniel Scott, man. I
Salute,
got
bro.
to shout him out. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something good. Like, all right, I be trying to put people on to you, man, because I had to get put on to you, man. And like, I was listening to the Brandon Kyle interview last week, and he said like, whoa, I think this is how we all discovered Esskimo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, you know what? I'm fucking frustrated. And I just type into Google, how the fuck do you get rich rapping? You know what I mean? At some point in time, I typed that shit into Google, and there he is. There's Esskimo. And this guy pops up on YouTube, and he just kicking that real shit. And I'm going to tell you what really, really hit me, what really did it for me. And this is how I was introduced to you. You were like, you know what, at the end of the day, man, don't nobody give a fuck about your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit just really resonated with me, because I'm sitting back in the lab and I've got all these artists, I've got all these projects, and I'm trying to do, and I'm like, yo, it's no way in the world that this shit is not hot. There's no way in the world that people are not going to resonate with this shit. And then I heard you say that shit, and it just gave me a whole nother psychology. And it was like, all right, fuck. No one cares about anything that you put on social media unless it's something that they can resonate with. So stop motherfucking spamming people with your goddamn music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and this is almost going to feel like a repeat of Brandon Kyle's interview, but I'm going to sit up here and say it again because of the platforms that we have. Like, all right, the moment that I realized, okay, let me do something for someone else. And I have this huge philosophy about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. But what I didn't realize in the past was how to do that. I'm thinking that my music was like, I'm giving my music to you as a service. No, fuck that, homeboy. I was trying to cram my music down your throat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, it doesn't work. No one gives a fuck about your music. But here's what they might care about. They might care about who you are as a person. Absolutely. They may care about philosophies. They may care about things that have nothing to do with music and they can relate to. And so, yo, man, once again, man, I'm going to just say, man, shout out Esskimo, man. That's what it is, man.
Hey, shout out P the Politician.
I mean, that's love, man. I appreciate that right there.
No doubt, man. It's crazy because, like, I remember, like, the first interaction, it was just comments on YouTube. You know what I mean? You were under, I'm sure it was the Behind Bars ENT account on YouTube. I just remember you just showing mad love, and you're like, oh, I'm going to find you on Facebook or something along those lines. And for anybody, because, you know, we broadcast this on Facebook Live, but I also upload it on YouTube as well. To people on YouTube, man, like, look at this solid relationship me and P the Politician have built, where, you know, I go on his platform, he goes on my platform, we politic often, you know, a few times a week, we build together, we grow together, and that's the case with a lot of people, man. So, you know, make the effort to reach out to people, like P made the effort to reach out to me, and I made the effort to, you know, well, we both made the effort then to build this relationship where we have our own assets. You know, I've seen P in the time that I've grown with him, you know, I've seen him just grow phenomenally, the platform that he's built. And if you want that network and you want to build those relationships with people, you've got to be active out here and really give a damn about who you're speaking to, man. Like, don't be out there looking for what you can get from people. Be out there looking for what you can give. You know, what can I help you with? Is there anything I can do for you? Can I share something for you? Can I help you? And that's when people say, you know what? I really like this guy. You know, and when people have that moment where they really like you, that's when you don't have to ask them to do things for you. You know, but if you hit people from the jump, like, I want this, check this out, do this for me and stuff, people, it's just that energy, man, you know. And like we were saying about how principles are universal, from music to real life and everything. You know, if you're that friend that always turns up to the session, ain't got no money, ain't got no weed, but you're always trying to smoke on some stuff, it's only a matter of time before you get cut out of that circle. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, just... And go on.
I put a post out there like, okay, I'm a spiritual dude, you know what I'm saying? I know, and I have a lot of respect for people of other denominations of religion. Like, I got a lot of Muslim friends, you know what I'm saying, friends of the Baha'i faith. Brandon Kyle, man, I've been kicking it with him, and, you know, he just believes in energy, you know what I'm saying? But, yo, I raised off the Bible, so I put out a post earlier that came from Philippians, and it's ironic that we're talking about this. And the post goes, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also the interests of others. And yo, that's a core principle out the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? And so like for me, man, that's really at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't live a life. You know, I drink, you know what I'm saying? I cuss. It's what it is. But at the end of the day, I can't deny these core principles that are put out there for us all to abide by. You know what I mean? So
that's my thoughts too, man. Like, I'm not a religious person at all, but knowledge is knowledge, bro. You know what I mean? Real is real, and game is game. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff in that book, a lot of quotes and a lot of, you know, parables and stuff in that book that will make you a better man. You know, a better person. You know what I mean? So I fuck with it all day, and I think it's just an important message that, you know, you can learn from everything. You can gain from everything. There's that, like, people who are, no, I'm not religious, but in no way am I anti-religion. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not like, I'm not religious, so fuck everyone who is. You know what I mean?
I'm so sorry to cut you off. You hit it right on the head right there. When I'm gonna quote Esskimo. I'm not religious, but I'm not anti-religious, and I kind of feel like that's where we are as a human species in 2016 right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just so much buffoonery that's going on. And like, yo, I wouldn't be Peter Politician if I didn't bring up what's going on in America on a political scale. And so I see what's going on, man. I see how lies and deceit have really become the truth in a lot of people's minds. And so, yeah, man, like, how can I believe in this one thing when it's all this, that, and the third going on? You know what I mean? So, yo, we in a funky ass time right now, man, and I don't even know no other way to put it.
Yeah, it's pretty damn funky, man. Yeah. I think you know, the powers that be are master marketers. Any marketing we know, you know, their marketing literally trumps our marketing. You know what I mean? They know what we're thinking. They know what we're doing. They like. Just look at the world and where it is right now. We willingly agree to all this shit, man.
Yeah, and like, okay, so boom. All right, we had this whole election in the U.S. happen, and I'm not going to tell anybody who they should have voted for or who they should not have voted for. I'm going to simply say, we gonna see. I voted for one party. That party ain't win. We gonna see.
Yeah.
And I look at what happened in the UK like 3-4 months ago, where the UK decided to separate from the Euro. I'm looking at what's going on in Germany right now with the elections that they're having. Like, I'm paying attention to this from a world perspective.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to kind of divert this conversation before it gets too deep, but that's why my name is P the Politician, because I really pay attention to the politics of the hood, the politics of corporate America, the politics of race relations, the politics of what the hell is going on in this world, man. My eyes are wide open to that. And so, yo, my last name is Paramore. That's where the P comes from. And all my homeboys, anybody who spends about a good hour with me, you'll know that I'm really paying attention to politics. So at some point in time, Peter Politician was emancipated. There it goes. That's how I got my name. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
I feel you, man. So what inspires you, man? What is it every day that inspires you to be on the journey and keep going on it?
Alana, Jalen, Mina, Naya, and Ariel. Real shit. Yeah. Those are the names of my 5 kids, man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, my oldest is 16, my youngest is 5. And at the end of the day, I refuse to let them go out into this world and not be equipped with the weapons that they need to have to survive. Yeah. And that's what keeps me motivated. Like, all my kids, man, they see me grinding, they see me working, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, okay, my oldest, right? she runs a t-shirt shop with her mom, and she's understanding the concepts of content marketing. She sees her dad doing that. Same thing with all of my kids. Like, they see these things going on, and their interests are becoming what needs to be outside of what they're taught in school.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, that's why I really do this. Like, I started doing it for my brother, and then I started having kids, and so then I started having that fuel and motivation be for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's one thing the schools get very wrong, man. Is they're teaching us some stuff that's gonna, it ain't gonna set us up for life, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's not teaching a person how to market themselves. That's genuine. That's needed in everything, man. That's needed in going to get a job. You know what I mean? You need
Yeah.
to know how to market yourself and how to develop your personal brand to go get a job. The person who gets the job is the person who marketed themselves the best. The person
Right.
who went there and represented the best brand. That's the person who
And
gets the job.
yo, let's look at these elections in the U.S., man. Trump did a better job. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Even though I'm going to find out in the next few years whether or not what he's saying is going to actually be better for the country.
Hmm.
Based off of what I've heard, I don't believe that. But I can tell you one thing: he marketed himself way the fuck better
Hmm.
than Clinton did, and that's why he won. So marketing is always going to be king. You know what I mean? And like, that's like you just said, man. That's a principle you're not going to learn in an American school. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I really feel like it's my job. Like, just yo, I have friends, man, who don't live in this country. I politic with people who are outside of the everyday realm of what's going on in the United States.
Hmm.
And I'm blessed for that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, I consider you a friend, Esskimo. Like, I can hit you up on the messenger or hit you in the Google Hangouts or what have you, or on a Skype conversation, and just tell you what's on my mind,
Yeah.
all the way outside of music. And I'm getting a different perspective from someone who's all the way on the other side of the world. You know what I mean? And so, like, to show my kids that, okay, this is what it is. Do not be complacent with the bubble that you are living
Hmm.
in. Yo, I feel like I'm, I think I hope I'm doing my job. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you
You know?
definitely, from what I can tell and what I see and what you put out there, at least, you got a good handle on everything, man. And I can just tell just from how you run your business and things that there's no way a person can run what they do, um, like you do, and not be that way in their life too. You know,
Right.
so it's evident, man. But I think what's really impressed me, man, as far as what you do online, is how fast you got that Friday Night Live show to move. That was
Well,
crazy, man. How has that changed the game for you, the Friday Night Live?
I'm gonna say it like this, man. It was the moment. Let me tell y'all how Friday Night Live started, right? So Facebook started letting people go live, and so my kid's mother, she's really huge with these t-shirts, and my kids are really involved with the t-shirts, and my kids are like, yo, Periscope, Periscope, Periscope. And so I tried to do Periscope a couple of times. I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, I don't like this shit. There's no personal connection there. It's just kind of like I go on Periscope and just kind of, okay, maybe this will happen, we'll see. But then when Facebook started letting people go live, the first live I ever did, I got a new piece of equipment, man. I got the machine. It's
Hmm.
like Maschine, for those who may not know. That's the actual name of the piece of equipment. It's called a machine. And I was just toying with it, you know what I'm saying? Trying to learn how it works.
I
And
remember those.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I saw that people were tuning in. I'm like, wait a minute. This whole live thing is real. The kids and their mom was on point with this live thing, but the Periscope way of doing it sucks ass. The Facebook way of doing it, because Facebook, number one, from a marketing perspective, they started to boost your posts. They were going out gathering your friends, and they would put it in your friends' feeds in their face that you went live. Versus Periscope, you're just kind of going live blindly, hoping somewhere in the world someone will check it out.
Mm.
And the algorithm that Facebook created for their live feeds was outstanding. And so it was like, all right, if I'm going to be doing these lives, if I'm getting nagged by my kids to do these live video feeds, I'm going to do it right. And I saw that Facebook had the platform for it. So I turned it from going and just doing, like, let me demonstrate my beats, going back to doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. I was like, you know what? I'm doing these lives all the way wrong, and Facebook is the perfect platform to do so. Let me do something for other people. And so before the whole Facebook video review, the Facebook artist reviews came along, I had people hitting me up in my inbox like, yo, can you check this out? Can you check this out? Like, people really respected my opinion. And so I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take all of these all these links that I got in my inbox on Facebook that was asking me to check out their music. I'm going to just do this and then turn it into a show.
Boom.
And it just grew week after week after week after week after week. And before I knew it, I was doing it 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And my thing is, all right, if I'm going to do anything, it's got to be consistent. Yeah. I ain't the type of cat to just dab in and dab out right quick. So it was like, all right, the more consistent and the more serious that I took the Facebook Live joint, the more real it became and the larger the audience got. And it's like, to this point right now, like, okay, I'm going to branch off from the Facebook Live and I'm going to start doing the YouTube Lives with the artists' video reviews to where, like, I've got a system set up now to where I can actually play your video on a live feed and then give you reviews from there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, with the consistency became growth. And that's one key right there. I was just talking about partner earlier today about consistency, because here's what happens with consistency. Once you're consistent with doing one thing, other things pop up on it. And you never go into a situation thinking, or let me rephrase that. You always go into a situation thinking this is how it's going to be. But realistically, what happens is you go into that situation and it grows and it branches off into something that you have never, ever thought of. And that's what happened with these Friday Night Lives, man. Straight up.
Absolutely, man. Because just from outside looking in, it's just grown everything. You know what I mean? Like, since you've done those... And that's the thing with video content, man. And I get the same thing from where, like, I make my videos and stuff, that it's building that rapport and building that connection with people almost on autopilot. You know what I mean? Someone can watch one of those, or someone can send you in some music, you know what I mean? And it bypasses that whole having to have that first conversation of, what's up, man? Yeah, how's it going? Right. What do you do? And stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it gets straight into, look, action. Here's me making this. Here's you taking it in. Here's you doing something with what you learned. You know what I mean? We've already shared an action, so to speak. So, because I don't know if, like, me personally, man, and my pet peeve, I love the internet, man. I love the internet. But I hate logging in and just having, I just feel corny having these, hey, man, what's up? How are you? You know, I just feel corny, man. And people hit me up like, oh, what do you do? And I'm just thinking, like, if you just watch the video, you'd know instantly. You know what I mean? But if I tell them that, it's rude, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh, good, thanks, you. You know what I mean?
I feel you, man. It goes back to that. Here's the worldwide analogy, man. Going back to that chick, all right? So for all the males out there, this is going to apply. Women, I got a different analogy. But for dudes, man, y'all don't just hit that dude up and... I'm sorry. Dudes, don't hit that chick up that you see that's gorgeous and just hit her with a corny-ass fucking Willy Bobo line. You got to impress her. You got about 30 seconds because she's got all of these other people trying to garner her attention. You understand? So, yo, at the end of the day, you better say some shit in them 30 seconds, man, or you done lost your chance. You know?
Absolutely, man. First impression, man, is it's surprising how many people just don't consider first impression. You know what I mean? Like me personally, if I want to reach out to someone who's, you know, far above where I'm at right now, I'm gonna think, right now, the first time I talk to them, I want them to consider me a factor. You know what I mean? So let me get my shit right. Let me get my shit straight. Let me just put some work in real quick and boost my profile and boost what I'm doing. And then when I hit them up, like if I'm hitting them up maybe I'll hit them up and get a service, get a product straight off the bat. You know what I mean? Just to let them know, look, I'm not afraid to put money into this. I'm really about this shit. You know what I mean? Or at least just maybe if I don't buy something, at least just do something that lets people know you're a factor. Because too many people are out here rolling around just like anybody. You know?
Can I tell you a secret, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure you figured out. You peep game. So I first met Esskimo, and I was like, you know what? Let me buy all your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me buy everything you got available. I fucked with you, my dog.
I remember that.
Let me do that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, now, like, we're like almost a year deep into our relationship. It's grown into outside of, let me just buy what you got, and more or less of, let's bounce ideas off each other. You know
absolutely.
And that's some real shit right there. So let's flash back to that moment. I'm just curious, like, how did that make you feel? Like, how did you take that?
I was just like, instantly, okay, this guy's a factor. You know what I mean? This guy, you know, it's so hard to find people nowadays. Not that they're not out there, but like, you just let me know straight away that you were with the shit. You know what I mean? Right. The amount of people that hit us up on a daily basis about what they're gonna do, about how they're gonna get their money right, and then they're gonna hit us, and all this shit. You know what I mean? And I understand that's a genuine thing sometimes, but it's just like, you know, that first impression of, yo, I want to buy this off you, or yo, I want to put this brick down with you right now. Let's do something today. You know, people like hit me up and say, I'm gonna talk to you soon about something. I think, why ain't you in the inbox?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I wanted to go back to that point, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I base an entire business off of one word. It's called reciprocity.
Yes.
Okay. And I know and understand, like, so here's how reciprocity works, man. You don't use reciprocity from a selfish perspective. Like, okay, I'm going to do a bunch of shit for this person and expect for them to do the same for me. Nah, reciprocity don't work that way. If it's not coming from a genuine point of interest, like, for example, with you, it was like, wow, yo, this cat is out here really kicking some knowledge. Like, I've been watching your YouTube videos for about a month before I ever reached out to you, and it was just like everything you were saying really put things in a way different perspective in my mind. And so what actually happened is that you were using reciprocity on your audience and didn't realize it. And then I came upon, and I was like, wow, yo, this is a lot of free information. Let me buy everything you got. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shut up and take my money.
right. For real. Like, that's exactly how I approached you, I think.
Yeah, for
I was
real.
just like, you know what? I don't even care about whatever. Shut up. Let me give you the money. Like, give me everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's how reciprocity works. You find something or someone who you really genuinely like and want to deal with, and you show them how they could benefit from what you have. So at that moment in our relationship, yo, you had things for sale, I have money, here you go, let's exchange that. Now I have your products for sale, and now here's how we're going to exchange again. I'm going to start to use your products, and you'll see the growth. And once you saw the growth, you saw that it came from your product. And now, okay, boom, here we are. And
absolutely, man.
We're working together.
Absolutely, man. Cause that's the thing, man. It's like, it's not even a money thing. You gotta monetize stuff, and you gotta, you know, you put time into stuff and you charge for it and whatever. But when you build these relationships, you know what I mean? Like, if someone's been a client for a while, or someone, you know, someone spent some money with me and they hit me up and say, oh, yo, man, I want a consultation. How much? I'll be like, how much? Shut up. What time do you want to get on? You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? It'll just be like, you know, people offer me money all the time that I work with for something, and I'll just be like, oh, no. Don't worry about no money, you know what I mean?
That's what's real. Like, that's where the reciprocity is genuine. Because I know there's situations to where I just hit you up like, yo, I just want to bounce this off you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you had no relationship from me, I would have been all the way uncomfortable asking you to do that anyway,
Yeah.
and I would have been offering money for your time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the thing that people got to learn, man. I'm a true believer in, okay, anything in this world that you are trying to acquire, there's someone else who's acquired it, and so you can now acquire it from that person.
Yeah.
But you've got to realize that we're all humans, and so you've got to be bringing something to the table to offer this person who has what you're trying to acquire. I think where people get it twisted is that they're always going to the table empty-handed. You know what I mean? And so, yo, if you ain't got no money, if you ain't got no knowledge, if you don't have something that the other party can benefit from, come on, man, step up. That's really how I feel.
Absolutely, man. And to the people listening in, you know, because I teach this lesson to people, the reciprocity thing, and then they go out there and they help a couple of people, like a handful of people, and the people won't do anything back for them, and they're like, oh, it doesn't work, you know what I mean, all that, or they, you know, they give up and go back to spamming again, and it's like it was never from a genuine place if that's how you felt. You know what I mean? If you just because, you know, we're sat here and we're telling people, yo, just go out there and do stuff for people, you know, be a factor, go help people out. It is about just doing it because you want to do it. You know what I mean? If you're going to help people out, do it. Don't just do it in ways that you think will benefit, but do it in ways that you want to do it. The stuff that makes you happy, to give something to someone or do something for someone, and regardless of how they feel, it makes you feel good.
I've got to tag on to what you're saying. So, like, back to these Friday Night Lives, right? Like, my inbox is unbelievably flooded. You feel what I'm saying? And I benefit zero from these Friday Night Lives. I lie. I benefit from these Friday Night Lives because it puts me in a position to be able to build relationships with people. But if I don't build those relationships, I'm getting nothing out of playing your song. You can't even monetize off of Facebook. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I'm really genuinely doing this from a place of, all right, I want to see people catch W's because I see so many people out here catching L's, and it's like, all right, maybe if I build a relationship with you, I can show you other ways that you can be out here catching W's instead of L's. You know what I'm saying? And from the Friday Night Lives, man, I've actually built a lot of dope relationships. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even begin to shout anybody out right now because it's just that many people where the conversations have grown from the inbox to my phone. And, like, when you got my phone number and we're talking on a weekly basis, that's the, like, epitome of building a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And what I find, man, is that you know, it's a community. You know, you got the heads that turn in every week and show up every week, and you drop a comment in there, and all of a sudden you got like 15 friend requests.
Yeah.
You know
Real shit.
I think, you know, I got a good at least 50 people that I didn't know before, that either when I did an episode of the Friday Night Live with you, because I did too,
Right.
or if I'm just passing through, if I'm not busy on the Friday, I'll just pass through, you know, take a little listen, engage with the conversation or whatever, and, you know, those people add me, you know, and not just me, anyone. If you're a regular there, you show up and you just hop in the comments, you say, yo, what's good, and then you've got like 6-7 people that you know, they're like, yo, so-and-so is here, what's good, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's that real community effect that it's having, man, and it's not only just benefiting more, far more, like, there's the people getting their music played, which is good, that's a benefit, you know what I mean, but if they get there and they get active, they're gonna gain these relationships, and they're gonna, you know, be part of this community where you're gonna start getting, you know, 5, 6, maybe more extra likes on everything you post because you engage in this community. You know what I mean? And I feel like I feel people not necessarily take advantage. They just neglect to see the advantage of like, yeah, they can send you their music and they can get it played, but that's not going to get them a fan. That's not even going to get them a SoundCloud play. You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
not getting played on the SoundCloud. It's getting played through you. You know, it's
Right.
not like people are going to get the link for that stuff. So if they get in there and they get active, that's when people are going to listen to their other stuff. And I know that that's the thing with their, like, you know, an issue that a show like that faces is that people will just submit their music and then go on with their day and think, yeah, I'm going to get some fans. No, they're not going to look you up. You weren't there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You weren't active. They don't know who made that song. They might have heard the name, but, you know.
And you hit it right on the head, because I'll have people who will hit me up and they'll be like, yo, did you play my joint? I sent it in. Did you play my joint? And I'm like, who are you? No, I didn't play it. Nah, bruh. Matter of fact, don't even hit me like that. Don't approach me like that. Here's what you do. Fuck whether or not I play your song. Why don't you go in and engage with all of the other people that are in the audience, man? The Friday Night Lives are bringing in anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 viewers a night. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got producers in there if you're an artist. Producers, you've got artists in there if you're a producer. Like, yo, take advantage of what this was meant for. This wasn't meant to just have your song played in front of a bunch of people, man. This shit is fucking chess. It ain't checkers. You feel me? Straight up.
Kill them. But yeah, I feel like, you know, that just goes to a greater thing of people just being so focused. Like, I know how much you got to focus on yourself as a person and as an artist and everything, you know what I mean? But, you know, it is a focus on yourself to go out there and do good for people. It builds your character, you know what I mean? It builds your network, it builds your relationships. Like, you do back. People out there listening in, man, just go out there, show love, show you know, interest in what other people do, and build that character, build that communication skill, you'll learn what it takes, like, because you'll approach a certain type of person, and to build a relationship with them is going to take a completely different approach to building with another person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't speak to one person and have it. Conor McGregor, man, he said that, I was watching an interview he did, and he said that people who win slack off. You know what I mean? And the reason he's where he is because when he wins, he ups it again. Whereas someone says, ha, just got to win. Yeah, man, we're good. Let's celebrate. Let's party. We're the shit right now. Then all of a sudden, they got another fight booked, and then someone kicks their ass. Because
Hey, I heard Drake say some shit similar like that. Drake said, you know what? We don't celebrate the wins. We don't sulk over the losses. We just keep that shit moving. Real shit. You know what I'm saying?
For real, man. It's, you know, my thing is, and I've said it a few times in videos, is like, what the fuck are we celebrating right now? You know what I mean? Other than being alive. You know what I mean? And happiness, and, you know, that's it. But what I mean is, like, in terms of getting to... We ain't really got the time and the resources to be celebrating every single little win that we get.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's more wins to be had. We can, one day, my thing is, we can have $100 party tonight. That's cool. We can do that shit. Or we can have $100,000 party in 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which kind of party do you want to do? Because I want that $100,000 party, you know?
Right. And I promise you, man, I really feel like we're on the way to that $100 million party. Feel me?
Oh yeah. Hey man,
just saying.
It's relentless, you know what I mean? It's just for context. I used 100,000, but you know, it's a science. It's a science, man. You just keep changing the variable, man. You figure out what your constants are. What are the things that I need to do every time to win? Right, that I have these solid principles that always work and always win. Now let me put some variables in. Let me try this. No, not that one. Fine, okay. No, this one. Fine, okay. Ooh, that works. Let me add that. That's a constant. No, that's something I'm always gonna do. It's science, man. People are doing the same shit every day. It's like that Einstein quote, and I know it's kind of rinsed in a way, but it's that the definition of insanity is doing the same experiment,
the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Hell yeah, I live by that shit, bro.
For real, man. We gotta keep chopping and changing stuff, man. Like, once we know something definitely works, we can put that in the toolkit. We can put that in the arsenal, but that doesn't mean that we don't know what this job's going to take. So let's not just take a screwdriver and a hammer because it helped us out on the last job. We're going to need some new tools for this new job.
Real shit. Hey, listen, man, it's funny you gave the tool analogy, right? So the house that I'm living in, man, it's an older house. It needs a lot of repairs. And I find myself, like how you just said, man, I had a screwdriver and a fucking hammer. That shit worked last time. Nah, man, I need some drill bits this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. And,
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, man, like you just said something a few moments ago as far as the different principles and things that you need to be doing every time. Because you do things every time, and then you have to expect those variables. So, man, like we interviewing each other right now. I'm asking you questions.
Okay.
Because we both interview people. Fuck it, that's what it is, man. All right. So I'm just saying though, what are some of the things that you are consistently doing that no matter what, this is what I've got to do every time, and then turn around and ask me the same question. You know what I'm saying? And let's get it.
For me, it's always about hitting the point for me. You know what I mean? And something that I know works very well for me is simplification. It's taking a huge concept and it's simplifying it all the way down. You know what I mean? You can have if you try and present someone if we talk fractions, you can present to someone, I don't know, like 500,000s, in fractions, or you can just give them a half. Right. You know what I mean? And don't present someone 500 1,000s when you can just show them the half. You know what I mean? Let's break it down.
Western mathematics be confusing shit.
Yeah, just just like if I say 5/10, why would I give you 5/10 when I can give you a half? You understand the half better than you understand the 5/10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I understand decimals, and I understand motherfucking halves and wholes and all.
Oh, okay. We got fractions and shit out in the UK. I didn't know. I'm always finding out something new that I told someone. I think it was one of my consulting clients. I was like, "Oh, you good for 3:30?" And he's like, "What's 3:30?" I'm like, "What?"
Here's what's extra gangster. In school, they force the fractions on us. I never understood fractions, but then I met somebody abroad that understood decimals, and when they broke down the equivalency of fractions versus decimals, I'm like, why the fuck did I ever learn fractions, man? I understand 0.5, and that might just go back to the streets. I understand 0.5 a lot better than I understand a half. You know what I'm saying? Or like 0.3 or 0.8. I understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? Versus a third of a tenth of no.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. But yeah, like I told someone, I'll speak to you at 3:30. And they're like, what's 3:30? I'm like, 3:30. They're like, I don't get it. 3:30. I'm like, yeah. Oh, we don't say that out here. just little things, you know what I mean? Little semantics and different and shit that are just a little bit different. And there's still stuff like just now, like that I'm learning today. Every day I'm learning some. It's just crazy how different cultures can be so similar, but it's just the little things that are different, and that's what makes the cultures different. Which is, it's just interesting, man. But can you tell me more about the Power Summit? Because I know that's something you've been hard focusing on recently too.
Okay, so the Power Summit is actually the brainchild of Gloria Talley. Okay. She happens to be Judah Priest's manager. Judah Priest is an artist affiliated with Wu-Tang. And once again, like the whole community, we met through a Friday Night Live. And I actually had Judah Priest on as a guest for one of the Friday Night Lives. And through that relationship, I met his manager, Gloria Talley. And basically what it is with the Power Summit is such an awesome spin-off of the Friday Night Live. So on the Friday Night Lives, we're doing the free artist reviews. But on a Power Summit, we actually have people who are like from actual record labels. We'll have celebrities on there, and they're able to come on and kind of give you a way different perspective and answer your questions. You know, you can pose a question to a label exec from Def Jam who will give you a whole nother perspective on how it's really done in the music industry. So that's pretty much what the Power Summit is. Every Friday night at 11. We're thinking about moving it to Saturdays at 7. But we'll see what happens with that particular. We trying to goddamn change the time, man. Sometimes I try to be so fucking politically correct to where I lose my train of thought, man. We trying to change the times.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we change the times. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I feel you.
that's pretty much summing up the Power Summit in a nutshell.
Yeah, man. I just like the idea of it. You know what I mean? Especially where it's, the affiliations with there are people that do have those connections and have dealt with the music industry for what it has been for a while. You know what I mean? And that's spanning over decades. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good look, and anybody listening into this, man, if you've if you're listening on the live, you already know you're already on P's page. You know what I mean? Just engage in the shit, find out what's going on. Anyone who's watching back on the YouTube, man, just get at P, type P the politician wherever you'll find him. He's been building that brand for what he does. Whether you go onto Facebook and find him, whether you go onto YouTube, find him there, or anywhere. What I'm saying is reach out to the man, because he's got a lot to offer for anybody out there listening in.
I'm right here, man. P the politician. PTHEPOLITICIAN. You can type it all in, one word, in Google. You'll find me somewhere. And you can also hit me on my email address, pthepolitician@beats with an S behindbars.com. So I'm an open book. You can find me wherever.
Good shit, man. What's one thing that you think people don't do enough? It could be music, it could be marketing, it could be life, it could be anything.
Consistency,
yes.
Consistency, man. Like when I heard this question coming out of your mouth as you were asking it, and that was the immediate thing that popped up in my mind, because, all right, like going back to the platform that we have with the Friday Night Lives, man, like I'll see artists come through and, they might pop up for like 2-3 weeks and then you don't hear from them again. And they'll pop up like a month or two later for like a week or so, and then you don't hear from them again. And I really believe the success that the small amount of success that I've been able to garner is coming off of being consistent. Like I really have a sense of urgency like none other, you know what I mean? Because I understand that we are limited in the years that we're here. So get it now, get it done, and let that be what it is. But a lot of people, they live in moments, you know what I'm saying? They operate off of, okay, yeah, I'm feeling this right now. Let me do it. And then they fall off. And what you've got to realize is that in this day and age, man, people's mind states, because of social media, because of the time that we're living in, it's instant gratification. And you're only as hot as the last moment that you have, man. You could have a video that goes viral, 30 million views, let you fall off, and 3 weeks later, nobody know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing with viral, man, is I've said it on previous podcasts and in previous content, man. Like, all viral is going to do for someone is either, if they're ready, it's going to put them where they're ready to be. And they're going to... You got someone like Young M.A. who was ready. She was ready, bro. You know what I mean? And you got people like that who were ready. And then you got someone like Slim Jesus. The worst thing that ever happened to Slim Jesus was going viral, right? Because all they did was give him a bigger audience to fall off. That's all going viral did for him. You know what I mean? And viral something that is that's gonna make or break you for real, man. If you're not ready, it's just gonna you're just gonna have a bigger audience for your downfall.
Right. More people got their eyes on your flaws. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, I feel like consistency is something that, like you say, people just they do something. It's like with, I always encourage people to make video content, man. Like all the time, I'm like, look, I've had the success I've had online because of video content, and I know that that's the one thing out of everything. I've had times where I didn't write many blog posts. You know what I mean? There was times where I was writing 20 blog posts a week. There's times where I haven't written a blog post in 2-3 weeks and things like that. But something I've always done, I've always put out 4 to 5 videos a week. You know, and that consistency has seen me through everything.
Yeah. And I think when we take this word consistency, right? You don't have to try to do everything consistently. You find that one thing that you're comfortable doing, that one thing that's working for you, and be consistent. Like me, for example, I blogs, nah, I ain't really one for words like that, because I'm more comfortable in my skin getting in front of the camera and just saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Versus writing out the blogs. Now, I understand the importance of blogs, and that's something that I got to do some push-ups and sit-ups on. But, all right, in lieu of the blogs and me not being consistent there, let me at least be consistent in front of the camera and do the videos. Like this whole show. Like, if I weren't doing the Friday Night Lives, I would at least be doing videos every week, couple of times a day, consistent on that level.
Because you were doing that anyway, man. And even now you still make videos, separate from the Friday Night Live and stuff. And I just think that what people do is they want that instant gratification. So when they start a YouTube channel, then they're going to be like, right, so Esskimo told me if I make videos, people are going to fuck with me. So they spend a week making videos every day or whatever, and they haven't got 1,000 subscribers yet. They haven't made $1,000 off YouTube yet. Oh, this is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I'm actually going to kind of like, I'm going to just start a whole new YouTube channel with 0 subscribers, 0 views, and I'm going to put content on there. Yeah. And I'm going to see how that works out. And I'm going to use that as an example of what consistency can get you as far as growing your client. I want everybody to see me go from 0 subscribers to 1,000. To 5,000 to 10,000 and run with it from there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That this instant gratification that people look for is just a bad mentality to have, because like I always say, and I put a status out yesterday actually where I said that you get paid for what you're willing to do for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't get paid to make a video. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, someone might watch that video and buy it, but if they don't, I don't get paid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I might make a couple of cents off YouTube ads, but I'm not really getting paid just for making the videos. You know what I mean? I've put far more value out into this world than I've received payment for.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that unsuccessful people don't realize. That's what successful people do. Absolutely. Like, let's just talk about P. Diddy for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Sean Combs, man. He sacrificed his family, sacrificed relationships. Yo, you just did a blog post on, I just read it yesterday, man. And you were basically talking about how people will not realize that once you start doing things on a level to where you will become successful, you're going to lose those friends. You're going to lose those relationships, man. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, man. I've got to pull this up because it was just such an awesome thought that you put up.
Thank you, man.
Let me find what it was. All right, so Esskimo put up a blog post that was entitled Why No, that's not it. The Scariest Blog Post in the World by Esskimo.com. And I read it, and one of the quotes from out of there that Esskimo put was, our conversations with people would never be the same. The more we learn, the more efficient we get, the less time we have to waste, the less our conversations with people we once were so close with have relevance in our lives. And that's another thing that I'm really learning, like going back to the whole story with Behind Bars Entertainment. Like my brother, yo, he's doing his thing, man. He's got his child. He's trying to get his life together after, kind of messing up in the past. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The past catch up with you. And so he's spending so much more time focusing on trying to get his life together than he's spending on the times that I'm spending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what has happened with that goes back to that quote. I've got to read it one more time. It states, our conversations with people will never be the same. The more we learn, the more efficient we get, the less time we have to waste. The less our conversations with people we were once so close with have relevance in our lives. And I am found in 2016, no bullshit, every single person who I was dealing with the whole behind bars entertainment deal, that's exactly how our relationships are with now. I still ride for them dudes, man. I still die for them dudes, no doubt. Yo, I could go 6 months right now without talking to any of them dudes, and they can call me up tonight, 3, 4 in the morning, and tell me that they need some shit handled, and I'm there. But day to day, it goes back to this. Our conversations with people will never be the same. The more we learn, the more efficient we get, the less time we have to waste. The less our conversations with people we were once so close with have relevance in our lives. And that's real shit.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Because I can think of this one example, right? When I first started making beats and selling beats online, I got friends with this German guy. He was a producer too, and we sort of like learned some stuff together. And I was already looking for how to sell stuff, how to market myself, how to build a brand, and all that stuff. I was telling him all the time, "Yo, we should get on this, we should get on this," and then we lost contact. I think maybe, and this was like, we're talking 2.5 years ago, and
Right.
like I added him back the other day. I thought, I wonder what he's up to, man. So I added him back because I had a new Facebook account by then. I added him back. "Oh, what's up, man?" And we got talking. He's like, "Oh, wanna collab, bro?" And I was like, "Yo, have you not moved past this wanna collab thing? Let
Right.
you know." And I just ended up, he was being a bit strange, just in general. So I ended up deleting him, But
Y'all conversations change.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So from where you were 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? I ain't really got shit to say to your ass right now. And I'm not saying that, for any of my friends who may be listening right now. Yo, you my round, then you my round. And like I say, you can call me up 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, even if we ain't talked 6 months. And I still got you. I don't give a fuck what you got going on. If you my round or you my round. But day to day, yo, y'all ain't gonna understand where I'm at. And that's why I'm distant. You
for
feel
real,
me?
man. Because it's like, it's a thing where, and I'm sure you feel the same, is like, I don't want to be disingenuous for any reason whatsoever. I don't ever want to have a conversation with someone and feel like I'm forcing it. So when someone says something to me that, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, cool shit, man," if I don't think it's cool shit, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so like, I'll either not say nothing, or I'll just I might even say I don't give a fuck about what you just said. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah. See, I take the latter approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, if you
nine
talking some
times out
dumb
of 10 I
shit, I'm
do
gonna
too.
tell your ass. You know what I'm saying? For
And
real.
it's just a reminder to everyone out there, man. If your conversations ain't elevated, if you look at your friend, or not, maybe not your friend, or just anyone, and you think like, "Oh, you ain't about shit," you know what I mean? What are you if you're talking to them every day and listening to that shit every day? What's that mean for you? And I say this as well. Like, say you're on some shit, right? And you're fully about your shit and you're working, and your friends are not doing that shit. Say you get invited to go do something, go to an event, go to a presentation, and you got a +1, or you're told you can bring friends. What are you gonna look like when you bring them friends through that ain't about shit?
Right. And that's the shit that I need for a lot of my partners to understand at this moment in time in my universe. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, if you my round, then you know you my round. If you listening to this right now and you my round, and you know what it is, and we ain't got no beef because you know what it is. You know what I mean?
It's like 50 Cent when he was leveling up and he had Bang'em Smurf around, that those G-Unit shooters, right? And they're taking him on tour for security and stuff or whatever, but they weren't being security. They were out there punching people up, shooting people,
Right.
trashing stuff or whatever, and
Right.
50 Cent had to, turn around and say, I need to hire professional security.
Yeah, like real shit. Like, yo, I got hitters right now that can take that shit from a street level, and I can have them involved with everything I got going on. But because they bring that certain element to it, let me get some professionals on this level. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So it's what it is.
Absolutely, because when I was rapping and stuff, man, I was going to shows or whatever, and I used to have a good friend of mine. But as soon as he had a few drinks, man, he just go up and punch someone. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was ending up having to go to these shows either alone or go with some kind of like squares that I kind of knew and stuff like that. Because it was crazy because, when all that fell off, then I became that guy that was going around all reckless and stuff, because I sort of, when you're self-destructing and you're right and you make the decision, I'm riding till the wheels come off. You know what I mean? And you don't interrupt yourself and you don't make that change. You're going down and that's it. But
well, that phrase, riding till the wheels fall off, right? Okay, I get it. And I could say it nice and cliche like, and it will fit in. But someone at some point, their wheels fell off.
Yeah.
And what they don't tell you in that phrase is what the fuck it's like riding when the wheels fall off. You dig what I'm saying? I've ridden once the wheels were all unhitched.
Yeah.
That's a bumpy fucking ride,
That's
man.
bumpy.
You know what I mean? Straight up.
Yeah.
So,
all you had to do was stop the car. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All you had to do was stop the car and pull a Yui.
Yeah,
quick.
let's change the wheels. How about that?
Yeah.
Why we gotta ride till the wheels fall off? Let's change the wheels. How about that?
I like that shit. That shit. But yeah, it's like, I'm sure Snoop Dogg said this once. I was watching I think Snoop Dogg and A$AP Rocky were having a conversation. I think Snoop was giving him some game on camera, and I think A$AP was talking about some of the friends that he had to leave behind and stuff, and Snoop was like, listen, and I've got my two hands in front of me right now, and they're sort of like, my fingers are horizontal, so like doing like bars with my hands. Hopefully you could, like one arm is all the way up here and one arm is all the way down there, and as you grow, you're that top arm that's growing. If this person decides that they're not going to grow, they're going to stay where they are, the only way you can have a conversation if they're not going to come up to your level is for you to drop down to their level. Then what the fuck you talking about?
Right.
Then
So
you're
if I'm
talking
dropping down to your level, what the fuck is that really doing for the overall goal? Because at the end of the day, like, listen, man, if I drop down to anybody's level, I've got people behind this shit right now, man. People who are really, really, really riding for this shit. And so if I allow for myself to become in a degressive state of mind versus the progressive state of mind, what service am I doing to the people who are out here right now riding with me? You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Like, ugh.
And I saw a video the other day as well, man, where this guy, good guy, job, family, all those things, he gets a ride off his friend. His friend gives him a ride. Now his friend is wanted by the police, and then they get into a chase, right? And they're getting chased by the police, and there's two black guys, so you already know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, you already know.
You already know how that's gonna go. And the car tips, because the guy's filming, and he's filming himself. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are we getting chased? What's going on? You know what I mean? He's got nothing to do with this thing. And the police come, guns drawn, everything. You know what I mean? That's it. Everything he had is gone because he put his faith in someone who chose to not only stay at the same level as they've always been at, but lower.
And that's the perfect analogy. So it's like, all right, first of all, shouts out Lil Rummy. Shouts out Casino. Shouts out Lil Easy. Shouts out Justice, aka Ice Cold. I'm gonna get that on that shelf over there.
No doubt, man.
Now going back to what you just said, man. Perfect analogy of what you just said. All right. So let me break this down into layman's terms, man. If you riding dirty as fuck, and I don't know you riding dirty, how the fuck we gonna look if we get pulled over. You feel what I'm saying? And furthermore, let's say I'm clean, and you know I don't get down like how you get down. I'm not knocking how you get down, but now all of a sudden we pulled over, and I'm clean, and not only am I clean, I'm worth $100 million, and you dirty. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Now all of this shit, how all of us are eating, is jeopardized because you couldn't just say before you got in this car, hold up, let me not get in here, I'm dirty.
Absolutely, man. You can't have everything to lose and be around people with nothing to lose, man. They're gonna act different to you. They're gonna do different stuff to you. When someone's giving you some kind of look you don't like, someone talks to you a way that you don't like. If you got everything to lose, you might think, yeah, I wanna fucking put this person out now, but I'm smarter than that. There's no point in me doing something to this person now and losing everything I've got, my house, my job, my kids, my wife, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Whereas your friend who ain't got that to lose, they're swinging. They're pulling something out, they're doing something.
Listen. His was deep, man. When it's not only your house, your wife, your kids, when the people in your party is your nieces, your nephews. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people that's really, really understanding these things, but still choose a different route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you, man.
Come on, man. You ain't about to bring police into this situation when your nieces are affected, your nephews are affected. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is named Behind Bars Entertainment for a reason. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You feel me?
No doubt, man. But, it's just a inspiring, positive message to people out there that might be looking at their friends right now. Because I know I deal with people all the time and tell me, like, yo, my friends keep, telling me to come out and drink and smoke. And they tell me that, it's like I'm not one of them because I don't come out much. So, I go out, but I don't really want to go out. I spend money. We get in trouble. And listen, you ain't got to do all that, man. Let me tell you something. The best thing I ever did was get rid of all my friends. All of them. All of them. Not one single one left. It was me sat in the dark on my laptop grinding. And where I'm at now, man, I might just go take a trip to Miami if I feel like it with my team. You know what I mean?
And
where I'm at right now, I might just launch something new and build something new. And I'm good, man.
I was just going to say, here's what's extra gangster, right? When you shake everybody from your clique, the real motherfuckers, when you shake everybody from your clique, you're going to realize the motherfuckers who you thought was real, they wasn't really real. But the real motherfuckers going to respect what you doing, and if they still are living a life that's not conducive to yours, they're going to leave you alone, but still respect you from afar and still fuck with you in subtle little ways to show you that they respect you. That's what I'm going through right now. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, I got partners of mine right now, like, yo, they looking at this shit like, oh shit, okay, I finally get it. You know what I'm saying? Let me stay the fuck all the way back. And I respect P. And you know what I mean? Like, it's funny how that shit works. And I'm speaking to the people like how you speaking to the people who may be in this exact same situation, because this Behind Bars Entertainment shit, that's where it started. And this is like 12 years deep into it. You feel me? So all of the shit that I have gone through and the people who I have dealt with throughout all of this time, and to be here and not have none of them people here right now, hey, that speaks, man. And like my brother, my brother is my brother. I talk to him every week, a few times a week. It ain't like the relationships are strayed with any of these people, but it's just like my resolve is all the way different. And I took a brainchild that my brother had and created something all the way different. And this is what it is. You know what I mean? And so his was extra gangster. So as my brother's getting his thing together, he's involved in the sport. So I'm going to plug this in, man. We're going to have a sports show on the CCG Network Radio. Nice. You know what I mean? Nice. So, like, sometimes it takes for you not to deal with people for a while and then they come back around and realize what it takes for you to be able to deal with them. So with that being said, man, shout out Ice Cold Justice, man. We got the whole sports thing on deck. Let's rock. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man. And it just reminds me of the science of getting rich, man, where it's like we don't serve poverty by thinking about poverty. You know, we don't serve making money by thinking about being broke type of thing. You know what I mean? So if we focus on like say for example, you made everything about saving your friends and your whole life about bringing your friends out. You know what I mean? Like I'll give it to you like this with the example of poverty, right? You got no money and I got 20. So if I might be able to solve your poverty by giving you my 20. But we didn't solve any poverty because now I'm in poverty.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
How
We
about
just traded places for a moment. That's all we did.
You know what I mean? So how about if we both want 20? How about I go out there, make 40 and share 20? I mean, how about I go out, make 100,000 and share 50,000? You know what I mean?
Or
go ahead.
Let me show you how I made this 20. And so now we both got 20.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
this is how we gonna flip this 20 we got into 100 million. Real talk.
Absolutely. And that's why I think, you know, with poverty and stuff, everybody wants to campaign about things. But then you go look at Akon, who just went out and, you know, established a credit line of billions to be able to light up Africa. That's how you do it. You know
I'm just saying, like, Akon, I really look up to that guy, man, on the low, the things that he's doing that no one even knows about. And they look at Akon like the little singer that they know him of, man. The other things that he's doing, oh my God. He is the immense, like, really, for real? That's how you do it. Let me go ahead and I'll go out and put my music out. But really, this is what I'm really trying to do. Like, yo, they don't even know that he's behind Lady Gaga. Come on, man. Akon is my dude, straight up.
For real, man, because what, French Montana was his. Who else? I know there's a T-Pain. Was it? You know, that man. Yeah. And I'm sure there's more. There's some that are slipping my mind even now. You know what I mean?
People that we don't even know that Akon got hands in because he's well respected in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bump into people and you get to know their story behind the scenes, and they're like, "Yeah, Akon is how I was able to even do this." It's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Crazy shit, man.
So,
hey, man, what can we expect from you in the near future? What's coming from Pew Politician Behind Bars, CCGTop40.com? I know you said about the sports show, but what else have we got to look forward to, man?
Well, what I'm really trying to do, man, is to grow on the Facebook Live. And when I say grow on that, it's going to evolve into the level to where we're doing video reviews. Okay, so artists, right now, hit me up, submissions at ccgtop40.com, and send me the links to your videos. Now, I know in the past I've said, don't send me your links, only send me your MP3s. But here's the deal. This is for a second show, all right? It'll be broadcast on the YouTube. And I may pick a few videos that I show on Facebook Live. But for the most part, I'm trying to have an entire video review show. And for the right now, that's what we got going on as far as the progression for the future. And the reason why I say for the right now, okay, what I mean by the right now is within the next 2-3 months. Because, Esskimo, when you ask me what's really going on in the future, my mind is kind of developed to think a year out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't afford to just think the next few weeks what I'm gonna do, the next few months what I'm gonna do. It's more or less what I'm really about to do for the next year. And so, like, the connections that I've been building with, like, for example, let's just take Quan Rip. He was on the last Facebook Live that I have, and the things that he's got going on, he's a really dope promoter that has access to a lot of venues. And so, going back to the Power Summit, Gloria Talley and myself are really trying to get the Power Summit to be interactive deal to where you can physically check us out on the Power Summit and go from there. So, like, that's just kind of the prelude, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mind really operates 8 months to a year in advance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the right now, yo, let's get these videos in. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do the video reviews the same way that we do the Facebook Live reviews. We're going to do it on YouTube, and that's the platform.
Nice, man. But yo, P, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, man. We got through some real deep stuff from start to finish, man. It was, I think they're gonna love this one, man. I really do. So
Yeah.
shout out to everyone who's listened in, man. Make sure to play this 2, 3, 4 times if you need to. Perfect thing about these podcasts is, download it, put on that MP3, put it in your car. If you got a long drive coming up, or you got to catch the bus to work or something, listen to these things, man. Shout out P the Politician for being here, man. Make sure P the Politician on everything. One word, P the Politician. Can't go wrong. ccgtop40.com for a whole bunch of variety of shows, a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Right. And let me interject with that, man. On Wednesdays, of course, you got the Get Rich Rapping podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays, you have Lil Who Dat with Lil on the Real, featuring William Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get on that. And then Sundays, in a couple of hours, we have Lovey with Lovey's Lounge. So that's what it is for the lineup on the CCG Network Radio. And that's what it is. Let's get it.
Nice, man. Like I said, pleasure to talk to you. Thanks to everyone tuning in. Hope everyone has a good day. Is there any last words you want to say, P?
Hashtag love yours. Shout out Brandon Kyle, man.
Hashtag love you.
Everywhere I go, man. That's what it is.
Hashtag Norman. Let's get it. Yo, peace.
Peace.